ladies and gentlemen. And I say ladies and gentlemen because ladies are women who have a vagina and gentlemen are men who have a penis. It's not difficult to understand, it's biology. And in today's vlog I will be discussing Cafcass, the Secretive Family Justice Young People's Board and transgender ideology. Is the mad transgender ideology infiltrating Cafcass and our family courts? I think you're going to find this vlog deeply disturbing, and if this doesn't wake you up to taking a stand, then nothing will. You might as well just hand your innocent, beautiful children over to this woke cult and walk away. I wrote to the Secretive Family Justice Young People's Board to find out who they are. And in this vlog I will be sharing the letter that I got back. But before I start going down this very dark and deep rabbit hole, I simply must run my excellent introduction. I am Philip Kedge, a retired Police Chief Inspector, Director of the McKenzie Friend UK network and fearless family court vlogger. In all my vlogs, my views and opinions are of course entirely my own. If you would like support for all of your family court needs, then contact me today at www.contactphil.co.uk. Let's take a look at what we already know. The Secret Family Justice Young People's Board consists of young people from the ages of 7 to 25, whose members actually sit on the Cafcass board. Cafcass state that this group works in partnership with Cafcass to ensure that all of their work remains child-centred and child-inclusive. This is an influential group that appears to hold Cafcass to account. But what do we know about this secret little group who advises Cafcass as they work with your children? Well, let's see if you are happy with this. The Family Justice Young People's Board advises that Cafcass Family Court advisors should never make assumptions about a person's identity, whether that be gender or sexuality, or based on any aspect of their looks or personality. And that when a Cafcass Family Court advisor first meets with a child or young person, that they should start by asking them what their preferred name and pronouns are. Both of these references can be found on the Cafcass website under the heading Working with Alphabet Children and Young People. Can you imagine that? Meeting your children. Hello, I'm from Cafcass. What's your name and pronouns, little child? You can tell me, and it's our little secret. I won't tell mummy or daddy. If you want to be a boy or girl, or if you are gender neutral or gender fluid, I will understand. But your parents won't, because they are confused. Welcome to the cult. And going further down the rabbit hole, what about this one, folks? It's time to be scared. Very scared. The FJYPB, working in partnership with the All Sorts Youth Project, have provided the following top tips, which is openly hosted and posted on the Cafcass website. And on tip number 6, it states, consider that a child, young person, living with a parent or carer who doesn't respect their identity can be at emotional risk, and this may be a potential safeguarding concern. Oh my God, that clearly opens the door wide open to a dystopian nightmare, where if you as a parent do not affirm the gender identity of your child, then that may be considered as a safeguarding issue in relation to child contact. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a slippery slope to hell in a handbasket, and I believe that we are only a heartbeat away from it. Indeed, how about this for a scenario where transgender ideology becomes the new weapon of war in the family court, where the resident parent mother hails the pronouns of the child whilst the non-resident father states, "Don't be stupid, little Johnny is a boy," and Cafcass then restrict or deny contact with the father based on emotional abuse and emotional harm. Folks, the castle is falling. The transgender ideology is walking straight over the drawbridge and through the open gates. So, I wanted to know, who is this clearly hugely influential Family Justice Young People's Board, who is pushing this ideology onto children, potentially as young as 4 years of age? And so I wrote to the Secretariat, based, wait for it, on the 3rd floor of the Cafcass London office. And I asked them the following. As a matter of public interest, I would be grateful to be informed in writing of the names and contact details of each of the members of the Associate Board of the FJYPB, those of 18 years and over, along with the details of the organisation or interest group each member represents. And just to clarify, the Associate Board are members of the FJYPB who are 18 years or older, so I was just referring to the adult members. Now, after a protracted period and a follow-up message asking if they had anything to hide, I finally got a letter of reply. Whilst we do hold information about the children and young people who are members of the Family Justice Young People's Board, this is their personal data and is therefore exempt from disclosure. I am therefore unable to provide you with the information you have requested. Let's reflect on that. This group sits on the Cafcass board. They advise Cafcass on projects and initiatives. They hold Cafcass to account over diversity and inclusion strategies. They promote transgender ideologies onto your children, but they don't want you to know who they are. Well, they are apparently now a secret society. They don't want you to know their names, how to contact them, or even what groups, institutions, charities they represent. How troubling and concerning is that? I say that you should have a right to know who is advising Cafcass and which organisations they are associated with. Who is influencing Cafcass, who works under the rules of the family court and advises the courts on what is considered to be in the best interests of your children. Cafcass, who appear to be in bed with a secret group promoting transgender ideology, and that is not acceptable. Let's take a look again at their letter and their email address. Not only is this secretive group based on the 3rd floor of the Cafcass London office, not only does Cafcass host them and all of their material as part of the Cafcass website, but this secret group has a Cafcass email address. Trust me, I'm not going to let this go. The fight is on. But what about you as the parents? Have you been driven into fearful silence? Are you hiding in your bunkers? Or is this the tipping point where you are willing to stand up for your children and say no, enough is enough? Cafcass will not, on my watch, talk to our children about pronouns, and I will not allow the indoctrination of our children into this gender identity ideology cult, which potentially could then be weaponised against me as a parent, as a safeguarding concern if I refuse to conform. When are you going to speak out as a mother, as a father, to protect and safeguard your children from this madness?
I'm literally on fire right now. I just got off the phone with my wife, who took my 9 and 7-year-old boys to the doctor today to get physicals for tackle football and school next year and all that other shit. My 9-year-old son went in first, and the first thing this woman asks him is if he identifies as a boy, a girl, gender fluid, or non-binary. My son, he's never heard of any of that shit before. You've been dealing with him your whole life. He is clearly a boy's boy. So what are you, trying to plant a fucking seed in his head? The only thing I could be thankful for is that my wife took them instead of me. And props to my wife because she said something. And if she didn't, they would have asked my 7-year-old son the same damn question. This shit is ridiculous. And to the people out there that think that there's nothing wrong with that, and I'm just a transphobe or all that shit, you're fucked up. This is bullshit. And there's something wrong with you.
The time has come to be strong. The time has come to take a stand. So contact me today and tell me that you are with me at www.contactphil.co.uk.